Dr. Versta?
Yes, good evening, board members and staff, community and students who are here. I'd like to open this September 21st regular meeting up by introducing Mr. Roger Campos, who's going to lead us in our invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiances.
Dear Lord, I pray that you guide us always. Thank you for every seat that's been filled here today, for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room. Thank you. Satisfy the needs that need to be met during this meeting. Strengthen us as we make tough decisions. Please guide us so that this meeting can be productive. Let us be effective and decisive. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Mr. Campos.
Moving on to recognition.
Yes, we're really excited today to bring some recognition. We're going to meet some of our students of the month. Really phenomenal students. It's great to see people in our room. We have been doing this virtually, but feel because of our safe school protocols that we're able to do things like this in person. So we're going to meet some of our students from Big Country Elementary, Bob Pope Elementary, McAuliffe Middle School, our Cast-M High School, and then a special recognition of one of our district level employees. So at this time, I'd like to turn it back over to Mr. Campos.
All right, this is the fun part here. So we want to welcome our Big Country Student of the Month, Everly Holtz. Come on up. All right. So Everly, she is a fifth grader who is very organized, helpful, and treats others with kindness. She excels in reading, math, and science. She's also a great big sister who makes sure her little sister gets to class. Everly wants to be
Congratulations, Everly.
in the future. In addition to her excellent academics, she participates in dance, drawing, and design outside of school. Of course, she always has a vote to win. Congratulations.
You have to send it from everyone looking.
Next up, from Bob Hope Elementary, is Sophia Bettis. 1, 2, 3. So Bob Hope Elementary is proud to recognize Sophia Bettis. She is in the 5th grade and has participated in the bilingual program throughout.
Congratulations, Sophia. Well done.
Bob Hope Elementary has been fortunate to call Sophia and her family part of this community since she reached kindergarten. When asked to describe herself, Sophia said that she is very smart, an awesome friend, sometimes brave, and always tries to be a positive influence at school, helping others to help themselves and make wise choices. She enjoys expressing her creativity through storytelling and writing, and drawing. She loves math and hopes to one day be a math teacher. It is appropriate that her favorite animal is a unicorn, as she too embodies that wonderful uniqueness. Her 5th grade teacher, Ms. Bella, said, Sophia is an exemplary student. As a natural Ravenclaw, she prizes learning and intellect. She enriches our classroom with her original ideas and her problem-solving methods. Kindness is her most noteworthy trait. She is a fantastic example of a Bob Hope all-star. Congratulations.
Teach math, we have a contract with Paraprofessional.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move to oh, okay, great. Okay, so our next student is from Cullen Middle School, Stephen Rocha. This is great honor. 1, 2, 3. All right. So it's with great honor that this McCullough Middle School recognizes Devon Roach. Devon is very involved in school activities. He is a member of the mighty
Congratulations,
Rocket Band,
great
where he is
job.
on our drum line and plays the snare drum. Additionally, he is a student athlete and a member of our Rocket 7th grade football team. In the classroom, Devon is described as a helpful student, a scholar, and a kind-hearted, humble young man who is always willing to learn and participate. He is a leader full of positive energy and models the Rocket way in everything he does. We're very proud of Devon and his many accomplishments. Keep up the fantastic work. And for our high school recognition from Cass Stem High School, Mr. Joshua Bernal. Joshua is committed to learning and dedicated to contributing to the field of global logistics and supply chain through his dual credit program at Cass Stem High School. Joshua's diligence,
Congratulations,
right
Joshua.
mind, inquisitive nature, and unwavering commitment to his education has been an inspiration to his teachers and many of his parents. He is a tremendous student and an asset to our school. We are confident that Joshua will continue to succeed in his education. He is a dedicated student with exemplary grades and leadership. Outside the classroom, Joshua expresses his creativity through theater, student design projects, and student advocacy. Joshua is the perfect example of a hardworking, dedicated individual that will be a true contributor and asset to our community. We congratulate and honor his work ethic as a true leader of the Cass Stem High School. Sorry. Sorry about that. And 1, 2, 3. Cheese with your eyes. 1, 2, 3. All right. Hang on 1 second. Let me get parents. They want to take a picture.
So at this time, it's always a pleasure to recognize our students of the month. And so we know behind our students of the month or families of the month, we'd like to ask our parents, grandparents, family members who are associated with our students, would you please stand and let us recognize you as well? We have some pretty phenomenal principals who also are associated with these students. So principals of our representative campuses, would you please stand up and let us recognize our principals? Congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much for being a model student that we definitely would want to recognize. So congratulations. Thank you guys for being here this evening with us.
All right, so we're gonna move on to employee recognition here. So Southwest ISD would like to recognize our very own Ms. Valerie Maldonado. So Valerie has served as our Director of Health Services for the last 6 years. Valerie came to Southwest ISD 17 years ago from Methodist Hospital Medical ICU. Valerie started at Boswell Elementary, where she
I wish you
spent
the
7 years
best. Good
as
luck.
a campus nurse, where she worked as their campus nurse for 12 years. Valerie transitioned to become the SWIC Director of Health Services in 2015. Since that time, she has assisted in bringing countless back-to-school immunization drives and flu vaccination drives to the district. She was instrumental in the work with our School Health Advisory Committee that provided input on various projects each year. In addition, Valerie fostered incredible relations with the University of the Incarnate Word to create opportunities for our students in high need of eye care to receive both frames and lenses as well as follow-ups. Throughout the last 20 months, Valerie has led our district's frontline work against COVID-19 by providing Southwest ISD with the current landscape of the pandemic looks like weekly, and working with various departments to establish protocols, safety structures, and communication systems to keep our community informed about the COVID-19 impact at Southwest ISD. Your leadership has been pivotal over the last 20 months to help SWSD establish itself as a leader in the city when it comes to its COVID response. Valerie will be leaving us to take over as the Director of Healthcare Services and School-Based Programs for the University Health System. Throughout this work, she will continue to serve SWSD and partner with us to ensure we are providing all of the best resources to our community. Thank you.
I just want to say a few words about Val. The last 20 months has been very unorthodox when it comes to life and when it comes to school systems. And making really sound decisions has been critical in the area of health and health-related services. And Valerie Maldonado has just been so instrumental in being our leader in that regard. And she has kept our students and our families safe with bringing sound, factual information into our district, so that we can study and make better decisions. So a big thank you. We're going to miss Val. She's going to indirectly be involved with our school district because we have a school-based health clinic right outside this building. And we expect to be first in every line that it comes to. We love you, we appreciate you, and you've just been a wonderful 17-year employee in Southwest ISD. Congratulations, you Val.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Madam President, that does conclude our recognition part this evening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do we have any people signed up to speak? Oh, madam? No? Okay. So at this time, we're going to give the families a few minutes if y'all like to leave because the rest is boring. We'll take about a 5-minute break and then y'all can get up and greet each other and then leave if you'd like to.
Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and get started again. Board members, you've had the consent agenda before you. Are there any questions? If not, I need a motion. I have a first from Mr. Bernal, a second. From Mr. Carrillo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. Moving on to items of information, construction update.
Yes, ma'am. We have Mr. Rafael Barajas.
Good evening. I am going to present Sean Bacon and Cole Hensley for the Aquatic Center update. And I believe we passed all the handouts for you guys ahead of time, so.
Well, good evening. What we like to do is just open up with the simple flyover with the drone, and you can see that they're in the process of setting the first joist or long span or bowstring truss. Either way, those are the correct nomenclatures for those. So what you see is those are 152-foot long span joists, 20 foot on center, I think approximately 13 or 14 of them. They are all in place, and if you look at your hard copy, you'll see a couple of photos with them all in place. So we are now starting the slow process of drawing it in, as I mentioned to the subcommittee. And so what we're also doing at this point is, you see all the connexes down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, kind of twisting around. Those are all going to be storage units for the Mertha pool system. So exciting time. That has made it to port. It is working through customs, or it has been released.
It's working through customs.
It's working through customs. That's a slow process. It's in New York. And as soon as they release that, it'll be on its way here, and they'll be storing them in there. And then as soon as the roof is on, and all of the trades that need to be below deck or in the ceiling area, as soon as they're out of the way, you're going to start to see the nice transformation of that pool being put in there. So we are approximately 40-something% through construction. Still slated to end around April 14th, I believe, is the date. Some of the next construction phases, as I was mentioning, is going to be covering that roof, getting out of the way of the Martha people, and then drawing in the rest of the facility so that we can start putting in the finishes. And then as that process finishes up, you'll start to see the site coming around too. So over the next 3-4 months, that's going to be the process you see. And once it gets the lid on there, it'll kind of look the same for a while, but then all of a sudden you're going to, boom, it's gonna start looking finished. And then we work on the finished process. Any questions?
Board members, any questions?
Yeah.
No,
So,
we're excited.
yeah, so it's on time, on money, or in budget, and we're moving forward, so, all right? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next project, we have Suresh with RVK. It'll be the update to the transportation department.
Good evening. So the construction on this project has started. So today we're going to just quickly run through the phasing that we have scheduled for construction schedule for this project. So this is the main building. They're going to the construction is going to has started this week, and then the substantial completion is in March 18th. The phasing has been carefully coordinated with the administration, making sure that none of the functioning of the facility has been hampered. And this is probably one of the more conservative schedule. If they finish any of these spaces sooner, they will be, they can be used by the facility. So they're going to start construction next week in that main training area. Once the main training area is completed, they're going to use that as the shift space. So they're going to move people from different areas. So that would be the main area that will be used as swing space to be able to accommodate the other functioning while they're renovating the other spaces. The restroom, just to keep them all functional, once this main space is done in November, they're going to go into the mechanics restroom, they'll update that, then go to the men's restroom, and then the women's restroom. So there's always restroom facilities that are available. The significant aspect of the renovation is the HVAC switch from the old to new. That's going to happen in December during the 2 weeks of break, so there's less interruption. And hopefully it'll be cold enough that you need air conditioning then. So, and then all of the corridors and everything are also going to be done during the breaks. The Thanksgiving breaks and the Thanksgiving break and the Christmas break is going to be heavily utilized to finish some of the renovation. The area, the enclosure of the open bay will start in January and it'll end in February. So the admin to the south, the plan south, which is the main entry, will be starting in January and it'll complete in February. And then the area in the back will start after that in February, and that would be the last phase that would be completed as part of the main building. The exterior painting will start October, and it's going to take about 3 to 4 weeks to complete. This is the bus wash and the fueling station area. The painting on some of the HVAC, light fixture changes will start immediately on the fueling station. And then the bus wash also, they'll started work on it, and that is scheduled to be complete late January. So I think the GC has kind of lined up all the products and materials, so hopefully we won't have any delays in procurement, so.
So they started mobilizing this week. Another thing that we have coordinated is with McCall Middle School and the use of their portables right now for that training space that transportation needs. So they were gracious enough to allow us to use two of the portables, and we're going to take advantage of it.
So that's all I have for
You guys
today.
have any questions?
Any questions, board members? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'll move fairly quickly on the rest of the projects, being that most of them, or all of them, are now substantially completed. For Southwest High School Phase 3, we're about 85% complete, and the remaining 15% is due to the choir being left to finish, as well as the home economics area that was added during the project. That was not an original part of the project. Right now, the team is continuing final inspections and punch list items. Hardware, exterior hardware is also pending on this project, and that's just the remaining 15%. Any questions for Southwest High School Phase 3?
Board members, any questions? No.
The next one, in the same situation, we reached substantial completion for Scobie Middle School. Right now, all that is left on this is just the final hardware and the ADA inspections, the accessibility, as well as the consultants, the kitchen, the serving line that was added. It's just final inspections on those. But right now, we're pending punch list, and we're pretty close to bringing the final change order for unused contingency on this project. Any questions on Scobie?
And that library looks really nice.
It really turned out, the whole space, the cafeteria, it turned out really, really well. And we have the tracks project next for our middle school projects. I'll just skip to those aerial. At McAuliffe, it is the draining is being completed, or worked on right now, the rough grading as well. They're scheduled to have the curb concrete in about a week or so, and then the asphalt to follow after that. But right now, it's utilities and grading on this project. For McNair, that one's a little bit further along. The concrete curbs were poured last week, and I believe today they did the asphalt, the first layer of asphalt in the track. They're doing the subgrading for the field to receive the new sod at McNair. On Scobie Middle School, this one's the furthest south, being that it's the most complex project. We needed to reroute a channel, an existing channel in the back. There's no place for that track to be. So right now, they're filling in the existing channel and cutting in the new channel to divert the water away from the track. And then lastly, it's the track that's the furthest along, which is Resnick Middle School. That one, the curbs were installed last week, or poured, last week, and the asphalt early this week. Right now, again, it's the subgrading for the turf that'll be installed. This turf was additional, wasn't part of the base bid, and that's why we're bringing another item later on to speak to you. But that's about it on the Resnick. On the middle school track project. Any questions on that?
Board members, any questions? No? Thank you, Rafael.
Thank
I
you.
don't have a question but a comment. So it's our plan to, in the next 2 weeks, to schedule an opportunity one morning or one afternoon to any of the board members who want to visit the sites
Okay.
to see these completed projects or almost completed projects and in progress projects that Brandon is putting that trip together. And you'll have either Suburbans here, or we'll give a map and the times that we expect to be at locations. So
When is that?
within 2 weeks.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
I know it's been kind of a desire that he's heard from the board, so I know we're going to be gone this week, but we'll get back next week and the week after. We'll schedule it. It'll be the end of September, beginning of October.
Okay,
Thank you. I like that.
We'll send you like 3 dates to choose from. That way we can pick the best date for all.
that's it for the construction? Okay,
Rafael?
that was it, okay. Monthly tax report?
We're
Thank you,
holding
Cole.
it 98%.
Nice, 98%. Good job, Francie. The finance report, y'all have had that to look at, the investment report. If you have any questions, you can get with Brandon. Gifts and bequests, the enrollment report, purchase over 50,000. Y'all have the calendar of events, and the STAR assessment update.
We have Ms. Lisa Bolte, who is going to run through some of our data from the state assessment last year, looking at some comparison data in all contents, grade level, where the test is being challenged at.
Good evening, Madam Vice President, board members, Dr. Burstow. So tonight we're going to talk about the results from the STAR 2021 assessment season, which was the assessment given during a pandemic, which was different. So why did we have our students take STAR in 2021 with everything else that was going on? So our commissioner did ask us to do this, and the reason behind that was to help us identify or diagnose any gaps in learning. And then we could take that information, that data point, and other data points that we had from other local assessments, student work, teacher input, and figure out what those gaps were that we were going to have to address when students came back to class. And that way we could plan our COVID recovery. So in 2021, the commissioner said that the results were for learning and recovery only and not to rate schools. So no school has a rating. We're all not rated, declared state of disaster, again, for our accountability. And it's not to be used to evaluate teachers. Students did not get a promotion, not promoted because of how they scored. And then for our seniors, they had some other pathways that were available to them if they still needed a EOC test to be able to meet their graduation requirement. The legislature opened up some other pathways to make that happen for them, so it wouldn't be a detriment. So how did families receive their scores? TA has actually worked with all the student information systems that serve the different districts in Texas, and parents can actually get their entire STAR history for their student right in the same link that they use to get their students' grades. So when they go onto the parent portal to sign on to see how their child's doing in math or reading and what the current grade is, there is actually a link that will take them to the Texas official portal where they can see not just last year's scores, but any tests they've taken for the state of Texas. So they get a very detailed breakdown when they go into that portal, and they can actually go all the way down to the question level and see the actual questions that their students were assessed with. So it's a great resource. So let's look at how we did compared to the other large districts here in Bexar County. So we start with math. We've always done well with math, and we continue to do well with math. Let's see if I can move that out of the way. At third grade, we were among the large comprehensive school districts in Bexar County. We were number 2. And at fourth grade, we're right up there with Northside and Northeast. So you can see that everybody's scores were lower. We knew that was going to happen. Just as a result of what was going historically from other places, we knew that was going to happen. And that math would actually be the bigger hit among all the different content areas. Fifth grade, still number 3. Sixth grade, still number 3. Seventh grade, we usually struggle in seventh grade. We were number 2. Actually, Northeast didn't even take it because of how they were scoring their children. So we were actually number 1 among those who actually gave the 7th grade test. 8th grade math, a little bit lower, number 5, so still in the top 5. And then when we look at reading, 3rd grade reading, number 4. 4th grade reading, same position. 5th grade reading, number 5. 6th grade reading, number 4. 7th grade reading, number 5. 8th grade reading, a little bit lower, but you can see we're right at all pretty close to the same numbers. Fourth grade writing, this is the last year fourth grade writing will be given. Next year it'll be a combined reading and writing test. We were number 3 for fourth grade writing. In seventh grade writing, same thing, this is the last year for seventh grade writing tests, and it'll be combined with the reading for next year, and we were number 4. Science, number 5 for fifth grade, and then for eighth grade, a little bit lower, you're number 6 for eighth grade science. Social studies at eighth grade, number 5. And then algebra, we had fewer students taking algebra this year because we were transitioning our program. The year prior, we had all of our eighth graders taking algebra. In 2021, we had a select group taking algebra, so our numbers of students that actually tested were much smaller, which can impact your percentage quite a bit. Biology. English 1, number 4, and English 2 were number 4. That's the hardest test of the EOCs, is the English 1, English 2 tests. U.S. history, number 4. So you can see, even though our students were having a difficult circumstances to deal with, we still had, for those students that were able to come in to the campuses and take the tests, we still were having very good results compared to other districts around us. So now we know where our gaps are and we know what we need to continue to work on. And that's my presentation.
So the idea is to give the board some comparison data. Actually, the last time our students did take assessment prior to this one was over 2 years prior. And so now it's up to us to look through the data and see whether there's opportunity for growth and definitely those opportunities to celebrate. But I think asking our teachers to turn on a dime and how they did that and still make sure that there was teaching and learning taking place, I think it's important. I know that when we look at our percent of students who remained in virtual all year versus the students who are coming into buildings, that percentage was much higher on the south side of San Antonio, expectedly. We have a lot of families who are frontline essential workers and so that fear and keeping their children safe. So our teachers turning on a dime using technology that have the student outcomes. They're not all exactly where we want to be. We want to be number 1 in every grade level, every content. But at least it gives everyone kind of a high elevation of where we are. And now it's incumbent upon us to use our expertise and our staff and work with our families and specifically our students to make sure we come out of the pandemic that we improve upon where we are currently landing in every grade level of content. And STAR is one of those indicators, not the only indicator. Those areas that we're setting goals for ourselves in college prep for exams and SAT and ACT, and so we'll continue to work on those and bring that back in our strategic plan and kind of lay out the next 4 or 5 years. But I thank you for bringing the information, and if there's any questions, we'll definitely try to answer them at this point.
Board members, do you have any questions? No? Thank you, Ms. Bolton.
Thank you. Thank you.
Item number 7, we'll wait till after executive session. Administration and Human Resources. Francis?
So we are here to ask for approval for the central office professional development evaluation system. It was the item that was brought as an item of information in our last work session, and you should have a copy in your packet. We went ahead and took the advice of the board and surveyed all of the personnel that would have that, this type of evaluation, and also worked with curriculum and instruction. And so at this time, we will have a central office evaluation that is for AHR, operations, business and finance, and curriculum instruction, so everybody will be on the same page, and it will align to our Southwest ISD commitments. And so we will be moving together in this process of learning and working with this evaluation. So at this time, we ask the board to approve our central office evaluation system that aligns with our Southwest commitments.
This is the one in the packet, right?
Correct.
I move.
I second.
We have a first from Mr. Sullivan, a second from Mr. Brunel. Are there any questions? No, all those in favor say yes.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Moving on to consider approval of central office paraprofessional evaluation system.
So along with the professional one, we went ahead and made sure that we were building the capacity of all our paraprofessionals, auxiliary staff, and support staff. And therefore, we utilized the rubric that was used for the Southwest commitments and asked our paraprofessionals, which you also have the survey, which was a very positive outcome for the survey results. They liked having the definitions. They liked having examples of what they could do. It was more complete, and it provides feedback and opportunity of growth for paraprofessionals. So at this time, we ask the board to approve the central office paraprofessional evaluation system.
Thank you, Francis.
I move.
I second.
We have a first from Flo and a second from Mr. Brunel. All those, any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you, that motion carries. Moving on to business and finance, consider approval of the state comptroller's findings on the taxable property value audit. Is that Francis?
I'm going to attempt this. Here we go. I got it. So for the last 5 years, we have used Dr. Kvac to look at our taxable properties. And so you'll see on the chart that this is the amount of money that he's been able to reduce so that we are able to get more state aid. Within his work, he recognizes the valuation system that the state provides. And from that work, we've been able to receive $1.5 million additional state aid with a very small cost to the district. So at this time, we're asking that the board approve payment for his work to help us with our taxable property value audit and findings.
I move. Second.
Okay, we have a first from Mr. Brunel, a second from Mr. Carrillo. All those in favor say yes.
Aye. Yes.
I'm sorry, opposed say no. Okay, motion carries. Moving on to item B, consider approval of additional stipends to the 2021-2022 district compensation plan.
So these are additional stipends that have come into play based on the need at this time. All these stipends are considered for the time beyond the bell and the amount of work and effort that is required to have some of these programs for not only our students, but some of our departments. So at this time, we ask the board to approve the additional stipends for the 2021 school year for the compensation plan.
Okay.
I move.
Second. Daniel moved, Brunel second. Any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you, motion carries. Moving on to item C, consider approval of city public service electric and gas right-of-way agreement for the new SWISD Aquatic Center site.
Yes, ma'am. CPS is a service company providing permanent power and gas to our aquatic center. With that said, they will require a right-of-way easement in our property at McAuliffe and also at the aquatic center. They've initiated the electrical service outside of our property, and they're about to start the gas. There is no fiscal impact, and our recommendation is that the board approve district staff to execute the electric and gas right-of-way agreement with CPS.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I move.
Brunel moves, and
I second.
Flo will second. Any questions for Rafael? No. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you, that carries. Item D, consider approval of change order number 1 for the SWISD Middle School Tracks Project.
Yes, ma'am. Due to unforeseen conditions, as well as post-bid changes throughout 4 of the tracks, the district is recommending that we increase the owner contingency in the project by the amount of $100,000. Any unused contingency will be refunded back. Currently, we have $27,000 left in contingency, but this is just to safeguard anything that will come up in the project We have some work to do, we presented in Scobie Middle School, but again, it's just to safeguard the money on the project. CEC Engineering has prepared change order number 1 to increase the contract amount, and this amount will be funded by 2018 bond saving funds. All right?
Raphael, what were
Yes,
the unforeseen existing conditions?
So part of it was the field of Resnick. That was a $69,000 hit, just the condition that it was because of the wind damage. There was
Oh.
a point that the bleachers tracked along that field and it was just unusable at a point.
Okay,
After we bid the project, we assessed the damage and it was the right thing to do at the time, but it was a $69,000 hit on it. I
Yeah,
think
that
it's
was
a
fine.
great benefit for the track and the field.
Mhm.
At the end of it, it's gonna be a really good facility on our
Okay.
end.
So did that money come from this, or that was separate?
That was from the original contingency. We had
Okay.
125,000 in original contingency
Okay.
for the 4 tracks. So,
And there is no plan for this 100,000, so it could very well come back at the end of the project.
And we don't have any alternates waiting on this? Okay.
Daniel, you have a question?
no, we don't.
And some of the problems with Scobie is that's to make sure that we covers any of those, the drainage issues at Scobie.
Yes, and at Scobie, part of it was the existing sewer line. It was pretty much draining the wrong way. It's not noticed until it's uncovered, so part of that is that fix. That was about 9,000, I believe.
Okay.
On
They
that.
also redoing the field at McNair
Yes,
as well.
yes, McNair and Resnick will receive fields. Scobie will not because they have a football field, which is not inside the track, and same for McCullough. So the 2 campuses that have the plain football field will get sod.
And what's gonna be on the other one? Just the regular grass?
Just a regular grass field, yes.
That's already
It could be
there?
used for practice.
It's their practice field, two of them because of the location. Scobie and McCall, we put the track around the practice field because that was the only place it would fit the
Okay,
existing fencing.
so we didn't do anything to tear that grass
You know,
up?
and when we did McNair and Resident, that it was planned for a future track someday, Scobie
Okay.
and McCall.
Okay, thank you. Okay, if there's no more questions, I need a motion.
I second.
Pete first, Flo seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No? Thank you, that carries. Curriculum instruction, item A, consider approval for the purchase of Renaissance Learning products. Products. You have a change in front of you that Delila put,
Yes.
changing the amount.
Yeah, so we're coming before the board to approve our Renaissance Learning. This is a program that 8 elementaries have been using in the past. And so now what we would like to do is bring some equity across all the elementaries and possibly include also our middle schools. And what this program does is an integration of literacy. As we have seen our results just earlier presented by Lisa Bolte, we are looking at different avenues and opportunities for us to be able to bridge the gaps from English language arts in the library and across every other process and system in the campuses in order for us to continue to close the learning gaps. So we have had discussions with Renaissance Learning. We did start with a quote of 730, and we have now brought it down to 250. So we will continue having discussions with this company as we know that our principals, we will be meeting with them tomorrow for us to be onboarded with this product, just so like that we can all have an awareness of all the various products that this company offers.
Is everything online, or are there,
So yes, everything is online. What it has like a 360, and so that it analyzes the students based on a real quick assessment that they take. So then they have another product called Myon. It's almost like Netflix, and what this would do is it would give the students books at their reading level based on whatever their interest is. So if they like butterflies, then if they're in, let's say, in the high school, but their reading level is at middle school level, then it will give them that book of interest at their reading level. And then the third one that elementaries have been really excited about, and the principals have been slowly themselves have been purchasing this on their own, and it has been the Accelerator Reader. So what it does is you grab the book, you read the book, and then you go ahead and take some assessments in order for us to increase also the comprehension. So we just want to make sure that we are equipped for when we start looking at the decision-making from the librarians with the principals, and collectively we bring different avenues and opportunities to the table to see how we can continuing to close the learning gap.
Thank you, Delisa. Any more questions?
I'll move. I second.
James first and Brunel seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you, that carries.
Thank you.
Item B, consider approval of lead forward contract services.
So with Leap Forward, in the past, it has been individual campuses that have been pretty much purchasing professional development from Leap Forward. So this year, we are going to be going above the 50,000 because we are wanting for them to come and bring district training for the teachers, for the administrators, since we are going to be moving over to STAR 2.0. Just like Lisa Volke mentioned, that our assessment is going to be changing from the reading and the writing all being combined. So also every other assessment will be changing. And so we've already been having some discussions, and so we will be continuing to bring professional development throughout this year.
Any questions, board members? If not, I need a motion.
I move.
I second.
Flo makes the motion, Brunel seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you, that motion carries. Item D, consider approval of purchase from Schmoop University Incorporated.
So the other one was Frontline. We haven't.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll go back to that one.
Okay,
Let's do the
sounds good.
Schmoop.
So with Schmoop, we're looking at the purchase. We have been using this company for the last 2 years. So Schmoop is more of a TSI preparation program. It provides interventions and online tutoring for the students in secondary. So all middle schools will be part of this and also our high schools. So our product has increased in price, so this is why we're bringing it before the board.
Okay, any questions, board members? If not, I need a motion.
I move.
Daniel
second.
makes the motion, Flo seconds. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. Now we'll go back to item C, the front line.
Yes, so for Frontline, it is also a renewal. We've used this product in the past, but it has also had an increase in price. So it has now increased to $50,799.
Any
What was it
questions?
before? Sorry.
Oh.
It was like pennies below 50.
Okay.
I move.
Mr. Brunel moved.
One second.
What?
I'll second.
Daniel seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you, motion carries. Item E, consider approval of SWISD 2021-2022 walkthrough form.
Yeah, so just along with the data, we've also been part of what we call the Texas COVID Recovery Plan. And so we've been working with a consultant with EdDirection, and so EdDirection has presented to the board in the past. So we have been, with the guidance of their work, we've also included an instructional framework. So now we are here to present a new walkthrough form for observation. So here we have looked at, we've surveyed the principles, we've included the principles to be part of this, of the creation, of the feedback, and for them to be the ones to pretty much design this work. So Ms. Roxy Freeman was the one who led this work, and we're very proud of the work that was pretty much put together, and now we are at the point where we're looking at which platform is going to be the easiest accessible for them to go ahead and prepare the walkthroughs, conduct the walkthroughs, and also for the teachers to be able to view the walkthroughs. So not only will the walkthrough form also be happening, but they're also going to be receiving coaching and feedback from that walkthrough. And so here we have just where on the platform that we are looking at. And so this is basically the walkthrough form. And so if you look at on the drop-down number 4, that's the very specific area that we are including where it has our instructional framework. And this is a framework that we are focusing, and we've also been training our teachers. So we have teacher clarity, small group scaffolding, questioning, opportunities to respond, and feedback. And the rest of the drop-downs, everything has to do with our current T-test, which is our teacher evaluation that we currently follow. So we have just the various components where it also allows for planning, for feedback, and then comments.
Any questions, board members? If not, I need a motion.
I move. I second.
Okay,
Thank you.
James makes the motion and Brunel second. All those in favor say aye.
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 No. Thank you, that carries. Before we go into closed session, Dr. Versta, do you have anything to say?
I just want to say I had an opportunity to attend the CASM Advisory Council today. I know Delila was on, Francis was on, some other folks. I'll tell you, a really healthy meeting with industry partners, higher education, the CAS network. That was really two-way. So I'm really excited about the way folks are stepping up to offer job shadow internship opportunities for our students. And, you know, it's on my mind because I thought it was one of the healthier meetings. It's still on Zoom. I can't wait till we come back face to face and normalize our system and our lives a little bit more. We look forward to that, but I just want to share that out and thank those folks for their connective tissue to Southwest ISD and for everything they do for our youth and creating pathways that did not exist in our backyard until recently.
Thank you, Dr. Bristow.
Thank you.
Okay, so as permitted by section 551.001-551.146 of the Texas Government Code, we will now go into closed session. All right, we'll come back into session at, put my glasses on, 8:04? Is that right?
Well, we left over there at 8 o'clock, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Going back to item number 7, superintendent's recommendations.
I move that we approve the superintendent's recommendation on personnel.
Okay, thank you. I need a second.
Second.
Daniel seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. That motion carries. Dr. Bristow.
Yes, I just want to take the opportunity to officially and publicly introduce Ms. Jennifer Collier, who is our Public Information Officer. So she's actually been with us for over a week and had a chance to meet with our board and back. So big congratulations joining the Southwest family. We're honored to have you. I'd also like to point out I passed around the sheet about some activities, dates to remember that are happening this week. Tomorrow we have a vaccination drive, Southwest Legacy High School for their, I believe that's a flu vaccination drive. And at the Southwest High School main gym, the day after, which is Thursday, September 23rd, it's a flu vaccination drive as well. That will be taking place over there. And Southwest Legacy High School volleyball, the 24th, and we'll be playing Medina Valley, at Medina Valley, and that same night, Southwest High School will be playing Rio Grande at Rio Grande City, Texas. And then we also have another immunization drive. I guess that's a flu immunization drive. That's happening on Saturday at Southwest High School gym. So we're providing opportunities for our folks to get their vaccinations and really appreciate everything that you guys do and for being here on this evening once again and helping us have dialogue, conversation, and making decisions about how to serve our students and serve our families and helping everyone get through the pandemic and make sure our students make great choices so that they get to live great lives beyond their high school days with us here at Southwest. So that's it.
Thank you, Dr. Bristow. Okay, then we will adjourn the meeting at 8:05.